SMT Nation, we back. Nation, apparently there's been something ongoing at AT&T that is absolutely a violation of privacy rights of the American public. This is, in my opinion, pretty substantial, and whether or not it impacts you directly, it's probably something important to know with respect to the industry and what it means about kind of some of the things that go on behind closed doors at these companies and with the federal government. All right, so I'll be sure to link the article for you here. It's from the Register, the public sector segment, titled U.S. Government Pays AT&T to Let Cops Search Americans' Phone Records, quote, usually without a warrant. Okay, so you can find that link in the description. And if you find value in today's video and want to show your appreciation for all the content here on the channel, ways to support us are there as well. Okay, so there's a U.S. senator who's pushing back on this. He's calling for the public release of AT&T's surveillance records on what's known as Operation Hemisphere. I didn't even know that this thing existed. Somebody actually mentioned it in my last live stream. I forget who it was, but a big shout out to them for kind of putting that bug in my ear. But Senator Ron Wyden wants, the folks of America to know that there is a long-running program known as Hemisphere, which is basically a phone surveillance program. And, Wyden personally has written U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland asking him to release additional information and details about this ongoing project in which law enforcement agencies' officers have access to an unlimited amount of domestic phone records that have been stored and collected by AT&T. In addition, he said that federal, state, local, and tribal law enforcement agencies have the ability to request often warrantless searches from the project's phone records that AT&T has been collecting since 1987. The Hemisphere project first came to light back in 2013, so it's been around for about a decade or so. And I think I covered a story that revolved around this, but I don't know if it was called this by name. I'm not really sure if I remember exactly, but it had to have been at least 6 years ago, maybe longer. But the analysis on all of this, I don't know where this is going to go, but I mean, the fact that it's now public and kind of getting, I guess, some news blurbs around the interwebs is probably good for people because it allows them to know what's happening, right? And look, it is absolutely a complete violation of people's privacy. And I know a lot of people will say, well, if you have nothing to hide, then who cares? That's not how this works, right? It's not how you need to operate getting your rights violated, right? So I'm not going to sit here and subscribe to that. I'm going to go ahead and just say, be very wary of what's going on with AT&T, because if they're doing this, right, and they're allowing and permitting this to happen, I mean, you can only imagine what else is going to go on, right? And look, I'm not sure if you choose your carrier based on your privacy rights, but this clearly tells you where you stand with respect to AT&T and vice versa. What do you guys think about this? Was this something that you were aware of before? Did you just kind of assume that this was the case? I think that's kind of where I was. I just assumed that those agencies and folks can easily obtain whatever records they need, whether or not they have a warrant or request one. I don't even think it matters when you got AT&T giving up the goods, like as simple as that. What do you guys think? And by the way, I don't think any carrier is any different. I can almost guarantee you the same things are happening at Verizon and T-Mobile and Dish and whoever else is tracking these types of records. But tell me what you think of all this. Sound off in the comment section below. You all, voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.